I can't stop looking at it. It's a thing of beauty. What's up everybody, James Breeze here and
Phil McDougall.
in today's video, we are going to review the Kettlebell Kings cast iron powder coated kettlebell. And what better way, we're in San Diego, we're around the beach with our trusted assistant, Henry. Interesting story for you. I started selling kettlebells back in 2010 because of an incident that happened in my front room. I bought a cheap, crappy kettlebell off Amazon and the handle flew off and went into the wall. I couldn't believe it. It was a nightmare. And that's what led me to retailing kettlebells for Dragon Door in the UK. That ultimately led me to selling Black Series kettlebells with Kettlebell Fever. I've been involved with the manufacturing process. I've been to so many gyms around the world and seen just some of the best and worst kettlebells out there. Now, ever since we stopped selling Black Series kettlebells, I've had so much stick from people in the UK and Europe because they wanted to get the quality of kettlebells but couldn't find them. I've always been asked, what are the best kettlebells out there? Which ones do you recommend and which ones should people go and get when they're first going to buy them? Until recently, I'd always recommend getting the Dragon Door kettlebells. I think they've always been the best quality E-coated kettlebells by a long way. No one's been able to match the quality of them over the years, and I think they had the manufacturing process down to a T. A close second was always the Rogue kettlebells for the price. I love the powder coated feel and how it feels in the texture on your hands. Sometimes the quality cannot be as good and it's not as pure as the E-coated ones from Dragon Door, but it's a slight preference. I always preferred the grippier feel and the more textured feel of the powder coated kettlebells. Now, over the last few months, I've been hearing a lot about Kettlebell Kings. We reached out to them and they very kindly sent me and Phil, who's in the background here, a couple of kettlebells to try out, and that's what we're doing down the beach today. We're testing them out for the first time, seeing what they're like. I'm going to give our honest review. Now, that we haven't been paid for this is completely free. They did send us the kettlebells, but we're excited to test them out, see what's going on, and see what our initial thoughts are on the kettlebells. Here we go. Sweat coming off his brow. He's working hard for this, people. He's working hard.
I've never felt a kettlebell like that. It feels of all of the same class of kettlebell. It's definitely the smoothest grip. Feels the nicest in the hand. You'd think that it's the same as other brands that look exactly the same as this, but these guys use a totally different coating that I've never come across before. It feels awesome.
First impressions of the kettlebell is the quality and the texture of the powder coat. I've never felt anything like this. This is way better than anything we did at Kettlebell Fever. It's absolutely, I think, perfection. I think it's one of the best powder coated kettlebells I've ever seen and played with in my entire life. I'm here with a 32 kilo and the handle to bell ratio, I would say, is the best. It just feels right. It sits comfortably in the rack position. Now, not all kettlebells are created equal. Some of the handles are longer, some are too big. They don't fit and sit comfortably on the forearm. And it's a big turnoff. I've used so many of those in so many different gyms, but the Kettlebell Kings ones, they feel perfect. The grip, the texture, the handle to bell ratio, it's spot on.
The only difference is, which in my opinion makes it a better bell, is I don't know what coat they use on the Kettlebell Kings bell, but the coat is still rough, but is a lot finer than the Rogue and the old Black Series.
Honestly, I think it's fair to say that both of us have been around a lot of kettlebells over the last 5 to 10 years. Me in retail and manufacturing from China and in the UK and using all the different varieties, and Phil just swinging and snatching in all the different gyms.
The end user.
I personally prefer the powder coated kettlebells because I like the texture. I don't do a lot of high volume snatches and swings. I prefer more low volume and a grippier texture and a better feel in the forearm.
The texture is different. You're not going to rip your hands up as much. And yeah, I think it's definitely going to outlive me and James.
Definitely.
And any children.
They have a really good quality bell. I think it comes down now to the two bells out there, the Dragon Door bells, the E-coat bells, and I think the Kettlebell Kings powder coat bell. It comes down to personal preference. I prefer the powder coats, I prefer the cast iron feel, and that gets my vote over anything else. But at the same time, the Dragon Door bells are probably the second best bells or the first best bells, depending on what you feel is the best thing out there. Here's another good use for the Kettlebell Kings bells. Check this out. Not running away now, are you? So there you have it. There's our honest, genuine review of the Kettlebell Kings powder coated kettlebells. I think they're great bells. I think the ratio is great, the feel is great, and I think the price is great. You get free shipping as well. So if you're looking for new kettlebells, definitely consider the Kettlebell Kings. We can't recommend them enough. What do you think, Phil?
They just feel amazing.
There you go. That's us. And it's not an ad. We're not being paid for this. We're genuinely appreciative, and we're just so impressed with the quality of them that it needed a video like this. So go try them out, check them out at kettlebellkings.com. We'll leave it to it. Here's some epic shots of the Sunset Beach here down in La Jolla and to say goodbye to. Phil, you're gonna be working some more.